Hello and welcome back, guys, to Sound of Manchester. We are delighted to say that the Premier League is back and it is going to be back with a bang. Yes, obviously, Manchester United traveled to Tottenham to face them on the 20th midnight in Indian Standard Time. The match starts at 12:45 a.m. But we also begin with the Aston Villa Sheffield United game early on the 17th, and then the Man City Arsenal game before our own game. So it's obviously a delight because the Premier League is something that has been such an important part of our lives for I don't know last how many years. But now that we missed it for 3 months, it almost felt as if there was something huge part of our life that was missing, along with the other necessities that we're missing at this point of time because of the coronavirus. But now that the situations are a bit under control, we are back with the Premier League, and it's delirium because I can't really explain how happy I am to see the Premier League is back, and I'm pretty sure Anurag and Kushagr, who are joining me today, are definitely happy about it as well. And I'll go to Anurag. Anurag, how do you think? How happy are you right now that the Premier League is
I'm
going to be back?
absolutely delighted, man. I'm absolutely delighted, and it is about time we say a temporary bye to watching Bundesliga full time. I mean, yeah, we do follow Bundesliga, but I mean, we were also watching Paderborn and Dusseldorf playing, so that's something we are not really used to. So that we
Yeah,
can put that aside for some time, and we can get back to watching the football that we love so much. That is the Premier League football, and that is one great thing.
yeah.
And a fully fit Manchester United squad, and everything is right now so exciting, and I'm really really happy.
Yeah, isn't it just fantastic? Anurag, we've also been writing about Slutsk and Minsk in the Belarus Premier League. So
Yeah,
it's
I
been
know.
it's been that desperate. So from there to come back to talking about Manchester United and Tottenham is really
So
rejuvenating.
just a correction for our viewers: Slutsk is not Sluts. It's Slutsk. It's a Belarusian club. Please don't get us wrong.
Yeah, and Kushagra, obviously, it's been turmoil in all over India with the coronavirus, but now there is a little bit of relief for us, some emotional relief for us. I don't know whether it's going to be a relief for a long time because once the match actually gets going, it's not a relief. Trust me. So, how do you feel, Kushagra?
I'm excited. The pre-match jitters are there again. I can again start looking at the loopholes that United have, and they have displayed over the entire season. And it's just it's a little selfish to say so, but the coronavirus break and everything else came at the worst time for us. United were finally looking to have had gained some momentum, especially that result against City and the other results, the one against Chelsea, even prior to that. And so things were looking like they were going to fall into place. And Pogba was supposed to return back then itself. And of course, we'd sort of found a system without Rashford as well. Now, as Anurag mentioned, we have a fit squad, but so will everyone else. And as we'll discuss further with the Tottenham team as we go ahead, but I think it will be a different sort of a scenario now. I think, especially for the teams which do not regularly play in Europe, it will be a bit difficult playing once every 3 days. Because I
Yeah,
think it's about roughly a month of football, right, that they'll have, and they need to complete 9 fixtures for most teams and 10 for like four of them. So it is going to be interesting. You might see a few. I think for United and Spurs, you'll probably see a game which might be a little lethargic. Both the teams are coming out. There will be some cobwebs, but yeah,
yeah.
super excited, man. And I will not lie. I just did after the Bayern Dortmund game. I just did not care about the Bundesliga. I just couldn't care because it's what the ninth title, eighth title in a row,
Eighth in a row, eighth in a row, and I
eighth in
guess
a row. Like,
by the time this episode airs, Bayern would have already won it against Werder Bremen to win the title.
yeah, I
So
mean, uh, it's so okay. Like they're great, but so boring. Like it's like
I
PSG
know.
winning in France, Juventus winning in Italy. I mean, yeah. So
Yeah.
what?
Who cares?
yeah, who cares exactly? So
Yeah.
now that we are back with the Premier League, and obviously
Look at
we traveled to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It took me a couple of minutes to realize it is not White Hart Lane anymore. So
Yeah.
we traveled to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and the fantastic stadium. I watched a video of David Beckham and Jose Mourinho having a probably a 2 minute interaction. It was a fantastic stadium, but it really doesn't matter right now because it is all going to be without the fans. And obviously, we face Jose Mourinho, our old manager, our old rival in many ways as well, because with Chelsea, Real Madrid. So, any news on his first team by any one of you, Anurag, Kushagra?
So
Uh,
I mean, if I could go ahead. So the only major news that 100 it is 100% confirmed is that Deli Ali will not be playing because he'll be suspended for this particular game. But besides that, there are plenty of rumors going on, and to be very honest, I haven't been following what has been happening in and around Tottenham in the last couple of months. I'm sure even a lot of United fans have not been caring much because there is so much going on in and around Manchester United, the transfer gossips and everything.
Yeah,
So we haven't really had time to check out what's been happening in depth with Tottenham. But Tanganga is also expected to miss. That's not 100% sure. But besides that, they have a fully fit squad. So Harry Kane will be there. He's missed out quite a few games this season. He scored
yeah,
11 goals in the few games that he's played. So we know how big a game changer that uh, goal scorer can be. So as it stands, they also have a very strong squad to match us. I think there is no way we can say that Delhi Ali missing is going to hamper their chances by any stretch of imagination.
yeah. I guess Harry Kane, Young-Min Son, Lucas Moura, and Steven Bergwijn are enough people to worry us. But apart from that, Kushagra, apart from these players, do you feel there are any Spurs player we definitely look to watch out for? I mean, including any one of these four, but also apart from them, is there anyone you think is going to be a major hindrance for us?
I mean, of course, the front line are the usual suspects, and just a little bit of on Harry Kane. I don't think Jose Mourinho got Harry Kane a lot, like as in the sense that he did not have him for a long enough period of time. Because if I'm not wrong, he took over somewhere in the second week of November, I guess, and Harry
Yes.
Yeah,
Kane got injured towards the middle or the end of December, and he's been out ever since. And so he's definitely been out since the beginning of January. So that I'm pretty sure about that. So he's not been able to utilize Harry Kane. And if you look at him, he's like the typical striker that Mourinho would want, right? So you can play a long ball to him, and he can also
mm,
use his physicality to score goals. So I'm not comparing him, but if Mourinho wanted, he could actually, if he wanted to put in an effort, which personally I didn't see him do at United, but yeah, he wanted to put in an effort in developing Harry Kane into something like Diego Costa. Of course, Harry Kane's not that nasty, but he's definitely clinical and he can score more goals than Costa. So there
mm,
is a possibility that Mourinho can use him well. He hasn't shown any attacking genius as of I don't know. The last time I think I saw his team's attack was 15-16 Chelsea. I think 14-15 Chelsea.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, as far as Tottenham is concerned, apart from these usual four, I think it will be very important for United to win the midfield battle. So even though we've been talking about Pogba, Bruno, and maybe a third one, it could be Fred, Matic, McTominay. I think it might be Matic. Between Matic and Fred, it will be tough to decide that as well as we go. But
yeah,
I think the midfield for Spurs would be very important because knowing how Mourinho plays, you wouldn't be surprised to see that United dominates possession. But it's about getting past. I'm sure Sissoko would play in the center, and he'd be flanked by Eric Dyer, and I don't know if he wants to play Ndombele. We still don't know about Tanganga at right back, right? So we're not entirely
yeah.
sure if he's fit. So I think these are the usual suspects. I don't think there is a big worry for Tottenham when it comes to their defense, as in for United, because I feel the defenders are aging now, and I feel Lloris in itself is suspect. So I would like that United strikers keep shooting now.
Yeah, so talking about strikers, we have one of our own returning, Marcus Rashford, who has been really impressive even off the pitch, raising millions in charity, and we are extremely proud of him. And talking about another player, not for us, but for Tottenham, who's been doing very well in similar position is Heung-min Son. And I have a few interesting statistics about them. Obviously, the general ones being that Marcus Rashford has scored 14 goals and made 4 assists in the Premier League this season, whereas Heung-min Son has made 7 assists and scored 9 goals in the Premier League. Another interesting thing is that when we watch the two players, Marcus Rashford tends to hug the touchline to start with, and then drifts inside closer to the box and takes a shot on. And also, he's not afraid to go to the byline, and he is majorly focused from left or inside left. Whereas Heung-min Son likes to come deep inside his own half, likes to take the ball and run from there, and he has a little bit more freedom in terms of roaming around the pitch. So that's the kind of heat maps that Heung-min Son has generated this season, suggesting how Jose Mourinho has also used him a little bit more, given him a little bit more free role. Like you could see the likes of Ozil during his time at Real Madrid. So that is really interesting to see. Another thing is that defensive contributions from Marcus Rashford have been way better than what we have seen previously, and even better than Son. So Marcus Rashford averages 0.5 interceptions per game, which for a forward is fantastic. Whereas Heung-min Son is on zero point 0.3. So considering that line of approach, I think even defensively, Rashford is a little bit more helpful for Manchester United. Another interesting point of view where is that the number of duels that have been won. So Rashford has won 58% of his duel, whereas Heung-min Son has won 48. The major problem for Heung-min Son is that his aerial ability is not as good as Marcus Rashford. So that has been the major reason. And another thing is, I from what I could see, Marcus Rashford has missed 9 big chances this season, 9 chances where he could have easily scored a goal. But whereas Heung-min Son has missed 5, which probably tells me he's a bit more clinical in front of goal than Rashford. Whereas Rashford does tend to have that optimistic shot here and there somewhere down the line, which sometimes ends in the stands or sometimes ends in the back of the net. So it's that kind of a situation with Marcus. But it's really great to see that these two players who have been playing similar roles in their teams, and yet they are very much different in how they approach the game, but their importance to their own teams, like for Marcus Rashford to Manchester United and Son to Tottenham, are immense, and their influence on the game is massive, and you could just see that in the results as well. So that's about me explaining about Rashford and Son. And coming back now to Manchester United, Anurag, what do you feel will be our starting 11? Are there any, now that we have a fit squad? I don't think we're hoping for any surprise on the last minute, like Pogba not starting as it was reported in the media earlier today. But
Yeah.
apart from that, do you feel we can expect any surprises, or will it be as straightforward as we think?
I do think there is a little bit of credibility to what the rumor suggests. So if you look at it, I think Ole does like playing a couple of slightly defensive-minded midfielders. So to bring in Paul Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, and Fred slash Matic slash Scott McTominay, it would make it just one of them. So will that hamper our defense? There is certain amount of thought that you could give it to it, and it could make a little bit of sense. So I would not 100% deny it, but my ideal playing 11 would be Dahya at goal, and the back four with Bailey and Maguire, left back Luke Shaw, right back Aaron Wan-Bissaka, the midfield trio, as I just said, Bruno, Pogba, and I would love to see Scott McTominay, but I have a feeling Nemanja Matic might start. Uh, my front three: Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial, and Daniels.
Kushagra, what do you think is going to be our starting lineup for the Tottenham game?
It's difficult to actually disagree with Anurag there. I think it will be pretty similar to what he said. I think De Gea will start in goal, and Van Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, and Shaw will be the back four. Uh, we've heard reports that he might leave Pogba on the bench. I'm not sure. It could be that Pogba hasn't played a professional match for almost 5, 6 months. Maybe that is the reason. But otherwise, because considering his recovery was around March, he's only had a rest, and I don't think he's played in one of the friendlies, if I was not wrong. If right,
Yeah, yeah, he
one of
has.
the two
Yes.
friendlies he played in.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think I would hope that Solskjaer doesn't rest him. I would like to see Bruno and Pogba played together. I know it's a little risky, but I genuinely feel Mourinho will go defensive. I don't think Mourinho will come out to attack. He would like to pick United off and long balls, and of course balls over the top because both our centre halves would be slightly weak towards the pacey forwards like Lucas Moura and Union Son. Both of them have a good amount of pace to burn. So I think because of that he might not go ultra attacking. So United can maybe slightly go attacking, try to break his team down. So I'd like Pogba on the left and Bruno on the right. Or he could just play a 4-2-3-1, right? I don't mind seeing
Yeah.
Pogba in a double pivot along with say Fred. Because in a 4-2-3-1 I would probably want Fred next to Pogba rather than Matic because
Yeah.
Matic is not as mobile. But either of the two would work, and with the three ahead, I'd like to see, of course, Rashford on the left, Bruno as the attacking midfielder, and I'm split like Dan James or Greenwood. I'm a little split. I think maybe we can start with Dan James, but I'm pretty sure Greenwood will play a huge part during the season. Of course, Martial up top.
Yeah, I think it's difficult to argue with any one of you guys. I just feel somewhere down the line in the game we might require Igalo to come on as well. It wouldn't be such a bad ploy to not start Pogba because Bruno Pogba at the same time, as you said, might be a little ultra offensive. But yeah, I think if Jose is going to go ultra defensive, you never know. So it can be just a mind game battle right now. But even if for example, Pogba was not supposed to start, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. You can obviously bring him on in the second half and probably a little bit more energy in midfield than the others. So I think we might decide that on how we're gonna plan the game. How what is our game plan? Whether we want to win it in the first half or do you want to nick it in the second half? So I think a lot will depend on that. Obviously, we will require fresh legs in the second half. So I feel Greenwood, Igalo, and Pereira will definitely come on at some point in the game. So I'm going to come back to you guys with the predictions once I start with mine. This is going to be a difficult game because as much as people have been super excited about Pogba, Bruno, Martial, Rashford playing together, we need to understand that this first team is good and also that we are coming back to professional football matches after almost 3 months. So it is not going to be easy at all. I believe we are going to have a very tricky game there, and it wouldn't surprise me if the game ends in a 2-2 draw. But I personally hope that if we do not make any defensive errors, we can win the game 2-1. Kushagra, what do you think?
I was gonna go for probably a 2-1 as well. I don't know. I mean, let's see where United are situated. United need to win all the games. Probably one odd result could go out of the way, but United mainly need to win all their matches. So I'd hope United win, and a 2-1 is what you said, right? So I'll be a little more bold. I'll go for a 2-0, clean sheet. I don't see it happening, but a man can hope.
Yeah, a man can definitely hope.
Definitely, definitely.
Anurag, so how do you think after such a bold statement from Kushagra about keeping a clean sheet? Do you support him or do you just go the other way around?
Oh, it's tough, man. I mean, as you said, the rustiness factor is going to be it's really hindering our analysis as to how the game could pan out. I mean, you never know. United could be really dull on the day, and Tottenham they could just fire in all cylinders, and even anything is possible. So, but I think United do have better quality in the midfield, given our predictions come true with the playing 11. So
Yeah.
I think we definitely can keep a clean sheet considering Jose's how Jose's teams can line up. So I'm going for a 1-0 United or a 0-0.
Okay, that is very bold. Nil. I think if that is
That
the
is very
case,
much possible.
I believe
Wow.
if that actually just happens, it's going to be super fun when we have
That's
a
going to be
fourth
very
match.
sad, but it is very
Yeah.
much possible, right? Because you can't
Oh,
expect
come on.
people to hit their passes straight away. But I hope it doesn't. I hope it
Yeah.
doesn't. I'll be the happiest to stand corrected.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Is this He just tried to negate our predictions. We were being too positive. He's like,
Yeah, I guess
come on,
I
guys,
guess
come back to
Someone
work.
has to bring the positivity down to a little bit of what's actually
I guess
happening around. So it's fine.
I just believe Anurag is trying to get us more subscribers by saying some content that can be very controversial. But anyway, if that happens, Anurag, we're obviously very glad if we get more. So this was it about the Spurs match preview. Again, just a reminder to our audience: the match is on 20th in India, and it starts at 12:45 a.m. at midnight. Please stay awake and watch the game. It's going to be a fantastic game, no matter what the result. And thanks for watching Sound of Manchester. It was a privilege to come back with Premier League related content again. And please keep liking and sharing our videos, and obviously subscribe to our YouTube channel and also to our Instagram, which is Sound of Manchester. So thank you guys. Stay safe and do well.